So you want to make your first $10,000 a month. I remember my first online sale ever. With my best friend at the time, we decided to follow some of the gurus on YouTube. We bought a dropshipping course for 1.5k and we built a Shopify store. It was during a summer evening around 8 p.m. When I come back to my room after having dinner with my parents, I immediately noticed my phone buzzing up with notifications on WhatsApp from my friend. So I opened up the WhatsApp app and wow, we got our first sale. So I felt the adrenaline rushing through my veins and I quickly powered up my laptop to go on Shopify. It's literally there, staring at me on the dashboard. One sale, 50 euros, which is close to $50. Now, of course, one single sale was not going to change our lives if we just take the money into consideration. But in that moment, I realized that making money online is actually possible. Like right now you're watching this video and you constantly see those guys showing you an incredible life. A life that you could only ever dream of. Hell, maybe you even see my Instagram posts and my stories and you get pissed off. And if you're being honest, probably you still have some skepticism inside of you. You wonder if it's truly possible for you after all. You know, this little voice in the back of your head that says, oh, it has to be too good to be true. Because ever since we were kids, we've been conditioned to believe that life always has to be hard, and that unless you're born rich or you get lucky, then you'll never experience a life of freedom and of abundance. I'm here to tell you that this is not true. Fair enough, some people might have worse circumstances than others, but the truth is that we all have our own challenges and our own problems to face. Someone might have less money than you to invest in starting their business, or on the opposite, you might have more time than somebody else to invest in building your business. You two have an unfair advantage and you simply need to figure out what it is. In this video, I want to share with you 7 key lessons that will help you to hit your first $10,000 a month ever and much faster. Going from making $0 to making $10,000 a month is completely life-changing. It's the difference between having to get up every morning to go to a job that you hate, working for a boss that doesn't even know your name, to waking up when you want, working when you want, and being able to buy things without having to take the price tag into consideration, being able to spoil the people that you love, to take them out to dinner, to thank them for supporting you from the start. So if you really want to get the most out of this video, pay close attention to what I'm saying. Grab a notebook, grab a pen, and take some notes. Because most people consume countless YouTube videos on what's the best side hustle to start, or how to make $10,000 a month. But most people don't take notes, so I can guarantee that for the majority of them, as soon as they're done watching the video, they've already forgotten 70% at least of what they've heard. So don't be like that person. Take notes and most importantly, apply the advice I'm about to share with you. And if you do that, I can guarantee that you will hit your first 10k month much sooner than you think. Lesson 1. It's actually going to be harder than you think. I've been through many business online courses, and across all industries, all courses, the success rate is typically 1%. Sometimes it's even lower than that. And you might even be surprised to learn that some people pay 1k, 1.5k, 2k sometimes to join an online training program, yet they never even open it. I know, right? It was quite a shocker for me to learn this as well. I have a love-hate relationship with social media because it's really a double-edged sword. On one side, you've got the crazy opportunities which social media brought to the table. Because thanks to it, now more people than ever, they can start from rock bottom and end up making millions of dollars in just a few short years. I can tell you that 20 years ago that would have been impossible. If you were born low income, your chances of getting rich were insanely slim. You would have needed to know the right people, to have access to the right capital, to have deep knowledge within one specific industry. Nowadays, some girl just posts pictures and videos on OnlyFans, and some of them can manage to make $1 million a month. I'm telling you, we are living in crazy times. That's completely unheard of. So when I see people complaining about having to invest a bit of their money or having to work 4 hours a day on their business, I mean, come on, this is a joke. You've got to realize that 20 years ago, people would have killed to have access to the money-making opportunities that you have access to today. I mean, really think about this for a second. There are 15-year-old kids who make more money than doctors who spent decades of their lives studying relentlessly. And like I said, some girls are making millions every month with OnlyFans while you're still struggling to pay your bills. And the only reason it's possible is because of the internet, of social media. But the downsides is that because you constantly see everybody flexing their lifestyle, particularly on TikTok and Instagram, because let's face it, those platforms are not like YouTube. They're not meant to educate you, but rather simply to get your attention. But now because of it, it looks like success is the easiest thing in the world to obtain. Plenty of people make it look like all you need to do is a little work and in 90 days you'll be a multi-millionaire with millions of followers on social media. Let me warn you in advance, entrepreneurship is not made for everybody. And that's okay, because the truth is that society would not function as it does today if everyone were to become an entrepreneur. But if you're still watching this video right now, you didn't click off to go play some video games or watch Netflix like most people would, chances are you're more driven and more ambitious than the average Joe. You know that you deserve to live a better life and that you deserve to make all of your dreams come true. But to be completely honest with you, the road that will lead you to your dreams will probably be a lot more difficult than you initially thought. Success is most likely going to require more time, more hard work, and more perseverance than you think. So be prepared to do more. Because at the end of the day, being in business, it's a ruthless game. If you don't do the work, then somebody else will. And he or she will take the money, the success, the fame, the status, the freedom that could have been yours. Lesson 2. Start a service-based business as opposed to a product-based business. A couple years back, especially during the pandemic, dropshipping as a business model became super popular online. You saw countless gurus just popping up everywhere on social media, making videos to explain why dropshipping was the best way to start a business, and how if you started a Shopify store, you'd make millions and become extremely rich. However, I've done dropshipping in the past, and I can tell you for a fact that for most people, the realities of dropshipping are far from what those guys online claim. Now, the difference between a service-based business and a product-based business is that when you have a product-based business, you're going to sell something which is physical most of the time. For instance, a lamp, a computer, that's a product-based business. And a service-based business is when you offer services to a customer. Usually it's to a business owner. For instance, you could be doing lead generation for dentists. That's a service-based business. But if you're a fitness coach, that is also a service-based business. The reason why you need to start a service-based business as opposed to a physical product-based business is because your chances of becoming successful with it are 10 times higher. And it's also a lot faster to get to $10,000 a month with it. With dropshipping, you would need to worry about shipping, your relationship with the manufacturer, endless copies and competition, unsatisfied customers, refunds, lost orders, stolen orders, just to cite a few. And on top of that, as if that wasn't bad enough already, your profit margins are going to be razor thin. And then you'll also need to pay corporate tax. And then income tax or dividends if you choose to pay yourself with dividends as opposed to receiving a monthly salary from your own company. Because the money that is in your business, you can't actually spend it on like buying a Ferrari if that's what you want. In the eyes of the state, your business is a separate entity from you. So it's great in the case of a lawsuit, but for most people, let's be honest, they're simply going to pay a lot more taxes for no reason. So in reality, if you do some kind of dropshipping business, you'd be lucky if you manage to keep 5 to 10% of what you make. And you would need to sell hundreds of products every month, sometimes even thousands of products. And trust me, convincing hundreds and even thousands of people to buy from you, it's a lot harder than it actually looks. However, with a service-based business, you don't have that many costs, like maybe a professional email and that's it. This means that when you're just starting out, profit margins can be as high as 98%. Now, I can't really go too in-depth in this video because otherwise it would be like 3 hours long. So if you're interested in starting your own online business, I've recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. We'll take a look at the pros and the cons together, and I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can follow literally today to start your business and to start getting your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description below. Lesson 3. Optimize your time and your energy levels. Most people have a very flawed view of productivity. They think it's all about doing more stuff, adding more things to their to-do list. So people end up with these gigantic to-do lists of 10,000 different things to do. So they feel very productive, when in reality they're simply tricking themselves into thinking they are being productive, but they're not focusing on the things that move the needle forward in their business or in their career. You need to understand that a lot of the time, less is more. Have you ever heard of the 80-20 principle? It's also known as the Pareto rule. This rule states that only 20% of your actions will actually bring you 80% of your results. So most of the things that you are doing currently, they could be removed, and yet you would still obtain similar or even better results. So to crush your competition and to reach your goals a lot faster, you want to focus on identifying the 20% of activities that will bring you 80% of the results. To give you an example, if you're building a personal brand like I am, you need to publish content. That's literally it. If you are a service-based business, you need to focus on reaching out to more potential customers, getting them to hop on a meeting with you and closing them. Now, something that most people don't get is that it's not about how long you work or how hard you work. Online, I see plenty of people bragging about working 10-12 hours a day as if that guaranteed success and more money in any way. Let me tell you that this could not be further from the truth. Alone, hard work and long hours do not guarantee success and that you'll make millions of dollars. There are plenty of people from all over the world who work really hard and long hours too, yet they're still struggling to pay their bills. The reason being, they are not following the right money-making opportunity. You could be grinding at the factory 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but you'll never make $1 million. This is why if you are an ambitious individual, you want to live a life of freedom and of abundance. You want to be able to buy anything you want without having to look at the price tag, travel whenever you want, spoil the people that you love, take them out to dinner to thank them for supporting you from the start. You need to start your own online business. I would have never been able to live this kind of life if I hadn't started my own online business. Like I said, if you need my help, the link to the free video is in the description below. Understand that in only 2 to 4 hours of deep focused work per day, you can do more than most people do in 8 hours anyway. I personally do deep work sessions, usually around 90 minutes, and then I take a break and I repeat the whole process. Now when it comes to productivity, you've got to be really careful because the things that are stealing your focus and your time away from you, they're not what you would think. There's this concept which is called death by 1,000 cuts. You'd think that the thing that killed you would be someone stabbing you in the heart, right? But what if instead it was all of the small things that added up? Think about all of the times that you're getting up to go grab a cup of coffee, to go get your charger, a notebook, or it could be someone knocking at your door, interrupting you to tell you something which is not really important or urgent right now. So do your best to anticipate potential distractions and to come up with a contingency plan. Lesson 4. Understand that $10,000 is nothing. Now I know it might sound a bit shocking or even offensive to some people. However, if you're shocked or offended by what I just said, that tells me that you need to work on your money mindset. If you're watching my videos, the truth is that it's not because you want to have fun or because you love listening to the sound of my voice. Or is it? It's because you are an ambitious individual and you want to build a better life for yourself and for your loved ones. You know that there is more to life than getting massively in debt, working slave-like hours for decades on end to pay a ridiculous amount of taxes, and then you only get 2 weeks of vacations per year and you don't really get to enjoy life. $10,000 a month might seem like a lot of money in most people's standards, but in reality for a business, you need to understand that making $10,000 a month, it's like making $10. It's pennies, because businesses typically have so many expenses, and that is especially true if we're talking about a brick and mortar business like a restaurant or a hair salon. But not only that, they need to pay corporate tax. And you as the owner of the company, it's not like you can just use your business money to make personal purchases, because on top of all the expenses and all the taxes that you've already paid, to pay yourself and to use that money to pay rent, to pay food, to feed your family, to buy a Ferrari if that's what you want, you'll need to pay income tax or a flat tax rate on your dividends. That is if you choose to opt for paying yourself with dividends as opposed to with a monthly salary. You need to keep in mind that you'll never achieve big things if you're stuck thinking small. If you really want to live a great life, you'll need a lot more money than you think. And that is especially true if you plan on having children, having a family, because that is a huge responsibility. In reality, there is a lot more abundance in this world than people realize. When I was a teen, I would wonder how could people easily afford $300,000 cars when my parents would complain over the price of food every night over dinner. I'm not saying that this world is fair, because honestly it's not. There are plenty of rich kids who didn't have to earn their money, and personally I was lucky enough to be born in a first world country, but that is not the case for everyone. But the truth is that we all have our own challenges and problems to deal with, and we also all have our own unfair advantage. You too have something that sets you apart from the rest of the crowd. You just need to figure out what it is and tap into it. Lesson 5. The more you learn, the more you earn. You don't know what you don't know. If you don't have the sort of results that you want to see in your life right now, it's because there are some things that you simply don't know. I can guarantee that if you knew how to make millions of dollars, you'd be making millions of dollars, or at the very least you would be getting really close to that level. Most people get out of university and they think they're done. The learning curve is over. They don't need to learn anymore. This simply isn't true. If you truly want to be the best at something, to make a lot of money and to have a ton of fun in the process, you'll need to learn constantly. You need to realize that in life, nothing is ever stagnant. Things change, evolve. That's the law of evolution, which is the most fundamental law governing our universe. Now, a lot of people love to throw around that knowledge is power, and that might be true. However, let's face it, they are missing one crucial part of the equation. You can accumulate knowledge all you want, but aside from sounding smart, what good would it actually do? Unless your goal in life is to become a Trivial Pursuit world champion, then you should learn and then apply the teachings that you've learned. Because one of the greatest factors in your success will be consistency. You could work 8 hours on your business today, but that won't matter unless you do it consistently day after day, for months, for years. Now I want to warn you, because you can be very consistent, yet fail to obtain every single thing that you've always dreamed of in life. Because being consistent at the wrong thing will only lead to very disappointing results. That is why you need to follow a proven step-by-step process to reach your goals. If you want to build more muscle, this could be following a workout program designed specifically by a coach. Or if you want to build a thriving online business? This could be simply following in the footsteps of your mentor. Lesson number 6. Nobody actually cares about you. Now I know that this might sound harsh, but you have to realize that in business, nobody cares about you. And the only thing that actually matters is the problems, the desires, and the needs of your market. Want to know the cheat code to life that will allow you to obtain every single thing you've always dreamed of? Give people what they want. The truth is that every single successful person that I learned from found little to no success as long as they were trying to shove products or services down the market's throat. And let me tell you why that's good news. Since it's all about what the market wants, it means that your accent, your race, your gender, your attractiveness, and all those things, it simply doesn't matter. Because unless you're in the escort business, that is not what the customer is paying you for. So instead of being like those wannabe entrepreneurs who are self-centered and following your passion and doing what you want, focusing on you, focus on what your ideal customers want. And if you can successfully do that, I can guarantee that you'll never have to worry about where the next customer is going to come from, and you'll have more money than you will even know what to do with. Now, I genuinely believe that if you apply those 6 lessons, you'll hit your first 10k month much sooner than you think. Now, like I said, if you want some help to start your own online business, you don't know what to do, the link to the free video is in the description below. And with that said, as always, I am waiting for you on the other side.